Alright you guys, I wanted to get you up this video. It's been a while since I got you one up on this firearm here. So, as you guys seen in my last video, I built this Daniel Defense 300 BLKOUT. It is a 16-inch barrel. I did a couple upgrades to it. So this started out as a budget build just to show you guys exactly what you can build for a very reasonable amount of money. So I ended up picking this upper up for $700. The lower ran me around $100 as a regular Anderson. So for about $800, I was able to set up a 300 BLKOUT with arguably one of the best uppers on the market. Well, I told you guys that there was something I was waiting for. After 2.5 months, I finally got approval and I got the silencer for it. So we were able to get a Silencer Co. Omega 300 direct thread. When I bought this upper, one of the features was that it came with a threaded barrel. It did not come with any kind of muzzle device, anything like that. So the goal with this gun was to suppress it. It's a 300 BLKOUT. There were a couple things I wanted to talk about before I talked about the can. As you can tell, it has a different grip, it has a different stock, and it has a different trigger on it. So I kind of wanted to touch on those a little bit. The trigger, I ended up going with a Trigger Tech. It's their 5-pound duty trigger. It is absolutely amazing. It's a single stage, super crisp. There's almost no take up. The break is just as crisp as you can get. Absolutely amazing. I did put a Romeo 5 on it, and then I got the Juliet 3 behind it. This gun is going to be set up for coyote hunting. I may not be running this setup. I did acquire a thermal, so I will have a full video up on the AGM Rattler V2 thermal that I purchased for this firearm. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. I also added on the dye-free company. It is their Kung Fu grip. Absolutely amazing. It feels like you're holding a 1911. The grip angle is phenomenal. This gun feels day and night different than what it did before. And then I got a really good deal on this B5 Systems stock. So altogether now, you're talking, this is over a $2,000 gun if you include the silencer. Got a really good deal on it, and I knew that this was a setup I wanted to run that way. The grip ended up costing me around $20. The trigger, I ended up getting an amazing deal on that. It ended up costing around $80. And then the stock I ended up getting for $30. So all in all together, the way that this thing sits, it is still right around $1,200 if you don't include the suppressor. So it still is a budget option. I did also get a new sling for it. I want to see here. So this is a VTAC Viking Tactics sling. Had to have that on. If you're running a rifle, you need to have a very good adjustable sling. But something I wanted to talk about today was the suppressor itself. So it took me 2.5 months to receive this suppressor. This is a direct thread version. So I do highly recommend any kind of anti-seize. This is a copper anti-seize. You're going to want that, especially with the direct thread on here, to make sure that you don't have any issues. This shipped with a little bit of paperwork. It shipped with 2 tools. So you have a spanner wrench for tightening it once it's on. You have this tool here, which will allow you to install and remove muzzle devices, as well as this little tool here in the middle, which allows you to take the caps on and off. So this suppressor, doing the research, I just wanted to kind of talk to you about this gun setup. I don't want to get too much into the suppressor because I will have a complete video on the suppressor. But this one here has a attached muzzle brake. So doing the research, this seemed to be one of the best options out there for a do-all can. It is a 30 cal, so it'll work with my 300 BLKOUT. It will also work on my 300 Win Mag, my 6.5 Creedmoor, my 22 250, and all my ARs. So I wanted one can that would do everything. I'll show you guys here what it looks like. So this is just a regular thread protector that came on the firearm itself. Want to measure the can so I can give you a little reference here. So with the muzzle brake on and the direct thread, the muzzle brake end cap, you're looking at right around 7 inches. So it's not terribly large. This just threads right on. So then if you were going to keep this attached, you would want to use this little spanner wrench. Get it on here and just give it a little snug down, but that's it. This setup is absolutely amazing. I cannot be more happy with the way that this turned out. It did take me 2.5 months to wait for that suppressor to come in the mail. And I'll show you guys a video of how simple it was to install the drop-in trigger. We'll do that, a little bit of B-roll on that to show you how to install the trigger. It's very simple. You pop 2 pins, remove the old spring trigger retention system, drop the cartridge in, pop the pins back in, you adjust a little bit of, there's a set screw on there that you adjust on the back of that trigger, and it puts tension down on your safety. So you don't need anti-walk pins for this, because that little tension screw puts tension on the 2 pins that retain it, so you have no problem there with anything walking or backing out. So this is the setup that I'm going to be running here. We're going to check out some coyote hunting this year. I'm going to have a video on installing the grip and all that. Buttstock just slides on. But here you guys go. This is absolutely amazing. We've seen a lot of information coming out with suppressors now. The wait times, I had a buddy do his paperwork for his suppressor and he received it back within 3 days. So you are seeing suppressors coming back in as fast as 3 days to a week. Mine took 2.5 months. Seems like the average is right around a week, but it's absolutely amazing that we see this stuff coming forward here in the future. There's a huge article that just came out, and there's another YouTube video out that talks about the amount of suppressors that were sold in 2024 in the first 6 months is more than the amount of suppressors that have been sold since the founding of the NFA. So within an 83-year period of time, we sold more suppressors in 6 months in the year of 2024. So the next time we go to court and we try to get these items removed from the NFA registry, we may have some success because they are now considered in common use. Also, if you're looking to get into a suppressor, the shop that I went through, I walked right in, filled out some paperwork. They walked me through the e-form. We did my fingerprints right there. We took a picture right there. Everything was submitted that day. And then all I had to do was take a copy down to my local law enforcement agency, the local sheriff's department, and notify them that I was doing the paperwork for a suppressor. And then it was a waiting game. The wait was not that bad. I paid for everything up front. If you are looking into getting a suppressor, get off the couch, get into your local gun shop and do it now. We had a huge election that just happened and everything is in our favor at this present moment. So now is the time. Get up, get off the couch, get in there, fill out the paperwork. We have new administrators in the ATF. We have a new political system that's going to be coming forward here, a new administration coming in the office, and we're going to have one of the best Second Amendment administrations that we have seen. But for me, I wanted to get mine before this election happened because who knows what's going to happen coming forward. I'll get you some more information up on this trigger and on the setup of this firearm as we go forward, but it's super light. I could not believe how light it was with this suppressor on it. I couldn't believe how crisp the trigger break was with this new trigger, but this setup is absolutely amazing. Do yourself a favor, get out there, get your suppressors. The more that we sell, the more numbers that we increase going forward, the more chance we have of getting these in common use, getting them off of the NFA registry, and making them the same as buying a grip, a new trigger, or a stock. It should be that simple. We should be able to walk in, buy them, and leave that day. Let me know how you guys feel about this build. I'm super excited about it, and I just wanted to show you guys what I have in the works. There's going to be a lot more videos coming out. We're going to get you a lot of videos of range time with this firearm, as well as the Ruger S-FAR as we fire that suppressed. And then we'll get into more details about this upper. This is one of the only 300 blackout uppers ever manufactured from Daniel Defense with a mid-length gas system. You can measure the gas tube. If you don't believe me, this is a mid-length gas system on a 300 blackout. We're gonna run this can, get some more back pressure in there, and I'll get you some videos up. Let me know how you guys feel about the new suppressor laws and registrations. Also, you don't need paperwork to transport this suppressor over state lines anymore. They did away with that this year, so now you don't have to file paperwork to go over state lines. All you have to do is detach it from your firearm, travel over state lines, you get to your set location, screw it on, and rock and roll. So great strides that we're making in getting gun rights for everybody this year. And it's because of people like you, it's because of people like me fighting for our rights and demanding that we get the respect for the Second Amendment that it deserves. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know how you rank this build. I'm absolutely obsessed with it, and we'll get you another video up here really quickly.